Ravi, I have a few questions which I want to understand and decode a little bit more. With preferred brands, you established in Connecticut, Stamford, and you had this insight that Indian foods, packaged foods, can make an entry into the US market.
Correct.
But how did that really happen? What was the insight or series of insights which gave you enough conviction to say, we're going to do this, even if it means only marketing, right? And not manufacturing or the operations, the logistics of it. Maybe just decode that a little bit for us, because this is way back in 1996, 97.
Yeah.
Love Trader Joe's brand, love Whole Foods brand. Trader Joe's was one of my favorite ones when I was in Boston. But we are talking about two decades ago. So what gave you that conviction?
So first was the big thing about realization that what I'm doing is wrong. Working in this large corporation selling food that is not good for people. That was the first thing. So there was this getaway syndrome. Okay, so don't work in a place which is serving bad food. Whatever, how much ever respect it gives, how much ever money it gives, just get away from that and find something that is good for people. And I think the five of us, although all of us come from different backgrounds, our chemistry was beautiful. Most times in meetings, I would find that one of us would start a conversation, and the other person could finish the sentence without any break. And I think that really helped us cement the thought about wanting to get it. And food, of course, everybody came from similar backgrounds. We were not thinking non-food in any case.
But why Indian food in the US?
Correct. So it's a matter of chance. So I happen to be in India. Sohail happened to be living here, and and Ashok, Meera, and Hans were in the US. And I was traveling to the US on my work in any case. So one knew about what's happening in America, and remember that in those days America was this big thing, isn't it? Everything you got influenced was America, was by America, and we saw this big sliver there, which we were looking at food as a segment, and the movement of junk food, if I may call it, towards food that is healthy and good for you, was being spoken of very often. So John Mackey, for instance, who's the head of Whole Foods, spoke at innumerable forums, and it's hard not to be influenced by it. And one of my co-founders, Meera, is a researcher by background, like a market researcher by background. So she'd be throwing lots of information, data, analytics, all of us. So even though all done manually in those days, but the trending was very clear. The trending was extremely clear that there are three things that are driving opportunity on the good food space. One, of course, is the health and wellness trend. The second was specialty food. So no pizza, as against pizzas, noodles, pasta being as different from that. Specialty food, because people are flocking to restaurants a lot. And the numbers were showing a growth of like 30% year on year, as far as consumption is concerned. And the third was convenience. And I think as we decided, let's look at that. It just so happened that we found a product manufacturer in Thailand, and we found a product manufacturer in India who was able to do that, and we were fitting this jigsaw puzzle. And so we jumped in. We said we have like the market there, we have this, and so we had to take part in road shows, in exhibitions, whatever little money we had and could afford. I think we began to do that. And in one of those shows in Anaheim, it was a buyer from Trader Joe's who came and saw this product and said, "I like it. Would you like to manufacture for us?" So it was purely just that, and I think we got sucked into that business from there.